My ex-boyfriend of 4 years reached out to me today for the first time since we broke up. 4 years ago, we broke up because he actually cheated on me and fell in love with someone else.
Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And in this video, we're going to be talking to you about when your ex reaches out after years. You know, when you're going through that breakup, you can be absolutely convinced that you are never going to hear from your ex again. They're cold, they're angry, they don't want to talk to you, and they just feel like they're completely done with the situation.
Yeah.
But feelings change. And a lot of times when you leave someone alone, they come back, they miss you, they think about things, and they realize how important you were in their life.
It's so strange because usually it's when you least expect it. You know, you could be moving on with your life in a whole different chapter with whole different people, maybe a different environment, and then you get a message from them and you're just in shock. You know,
Yeah.
That takes you back to, whoa, you know, I did have a relationship with this person. We were close, we were connected. So it can be something that's startling.
Yeah, and, you know, we're not telling you to put your life on hold for years. I always have to say that because somebody in the comments always freaks out. I'm not waiting years for my ex. You know, we're not telling you to. And we say that all the time. You have to balance processing the breakup, healing, moving forward, but also preparing for if they come back and how you can turn it around, right? Because most of you were in situations where there were problems in the relationship that need to be fixed. So what we see a lot is exes come back after months, but they also come back after years. Our record is 50 years.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, and we've seen like 25 years, I think 35 years. So they do come back after years. Now, of course, you should be living your life, not holding on to hope for, years and years and years like that. But we love to see examples and share them with you because when you're struggling with no contact and you want to reach out all the time. And I had 2 clients recently that have done multiple sessions with me that did not follow my orders. They broke no contact. They were strict orders of no contact. One did a handwritten letter, and the other one was trying to change his ex's mind at work, and both, it did not go well. Please.
Now he has a cellar back here of people who broke no contact. Can hear the shackles.
You know
Listen
what?
closely enough.
If we didn't live in Florida, I might do that.
No.
But we don't have basements here.
Oh my God.
But otherwise, it would be like, no phone. That might be helpful.
For legal reasons, we're joking, okay? We're joking.
I think they knew that one where, we live in
don't
Florida.
know. I don't know.
There's no basements in Florida.
We're not joking about the basements, right?
But you know what? Maybe if people were shackled and they couldn't get to their phone, they'd stop texting their ex. That would be helpful.
All right, don't spill all the ideas, all right?
Well, yeah. So I've seen a couple people recently break no contact, and it didn't go well.
Soon you're going to see coaches promoting that as a service. We will shackle you up for a year so that you don't text your ex.
Oh my gosh! Can I
For
just
monthly subscription?
tell you the amount of breakup coaches on TikTok lately? It's just unreal. It's just unbelievable the amount of people that want to ruin your life. Okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Please be careful with where you get this stuff from.
All right, let's see what
They're
this
like, I'm an
person has to
attachment
say.
specialist. Oh yeah? What's your degree in?
TikTok?
I signed up for TikTok. Yeah, does that count? No, it doesn't.
All right, let's see about this person who heard from their ex after 4 years.
My ex-boyfriend of 4 years reached out to me today for the first time since we broke up. 4 years ago, we broke up because he actually cheated on me and fell in love with someone else. We were living together for almost 2 years, and months after we broke up, he was already engaged, and less than a year later, he was married. For the past 4 years, I've been
when that happens, it is so brutal because you're like, I cannot believe this person left me and not only found somebody new right away, but then got married. That is the worst feeling, to feel so replaced.
And I'll say how relationships start, that makes a difference. So he had been unfaithful to her and deceptive towards her, and now is entering that new relationship with that being the start, with that being the footing.
Yep. But it would really, really do a lot of emotional damage, and self-esteem would just plummet.
It would
when
be
you
hard
feel
to
like you're
believe.
replaced like that.
Yeah.
So what happened?
For the past 4 years, I've been carrying this narrative that he completely forgot about my existence, that our relationship meant nothing to him. I carried so much pain holding on to this belief that I was completely insignificant and my love was worthless to him. Obviously, that's a really painful thing to carry. He reached out to me today and sent me a message to tell me that his guide dog passed away. He's blind, and I had a really deep connection with his dog. I loved his dog so, so, so much. The reason I'm sharing this is because it is so easy to create narratives that are really, really painful to us and villainize the people that hurt us. And I'm not excusing any of his behavior or anything. It really did feel like my heart is lighter after receiving that message. I just realized, of course I meant something. And of course our time together had value and significance. And my love wasn't something that he just was able to forget.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, is
Yeah.
that it feels good to know that your ex cares or cared, and that they hold you in a high regard, even if they move forward with life, right? Like, you don't want to feel like that person didn't care about you. It's nice to know at least that you meant something to them.
Yeah. And ideally here, I wish that she would be able to have that validation for herself without having to hear it from him.
Yeah.
It sounds like he betrayed her. It sounds like he really hurt her. And a lot of people, they don't end up hearing that from their ex. You know, a lot of people invest, and then the relationship ends, or there is betrayal, and then they never hear from that person again. You know, and does that mean that in those cases, because their ex never reached out, that their love didn't matter? No, of course not. You know, so I'm hoping that through this, I know it feels really good to hear from an ex, especially in that kind of a situation, but I'm hoping ideally here that she would be able to see her love for the value that it has in itself. So.
And I kind of wish I would have known this sooner. And maybe you don't believe it unless you have proof. But I will say that after receiving this message, I realized today that it is ridiculous and impossible that I even thought for a second that 2 years that I spent with someone, loving them and opening my heart to them, meant nothing. So if you're heartbroken, or if someone's pretending like your love didn't exist or matter, I'm here to tell you it did.
When you're hurting and you're going through a breakup, it does feel comforting to know that many exes out there think highly of you, even if they don't come back, even if they don't tell you these things.
Yeah. And I love her message here that your love is valuable. You know, and just that idea of that love that she showed that person isn't wasted. It's just who she is. You know, it's not something to where there's like a finite amount that she has and she's given it to this person for 2 years, and now that he's betrayed her, it's disappeared, or it didn't make a difference in that person's life. You know, that's how she is. That's how she operates. That's how she does relationships. So I really like that perspective. Again, I'm hoping that she's able to see that validation for herself instead of having to hear it from an ex, as nice as it does feel to hear from them. You know, because at the end of the day, she's going to show up in the relationship how she shows up, and he showed up how he did show up. So
I love when we can share examples with you guys on what it's like beyond where you're at right now, beyond that feeling of devastation and feeling hopeless and like life is never going to get better. Because there are many people that are watching the channel that have been watching for a lot longer than you, and there's people that will come to the channel new daily. So everybody's in a different place, but your future is coming, and you want to do what you can to put yourself in the best position to have healthy relationships, whether your ex comes back or they don't. Because you don't want your ex's interest level or how it looks right now to determine how motivated you are to grow or change since this breakup.
Yeah, and it breaks my heart to think that, you know, in those 4 years, it was really hearing from her ex that made that big of a difference, especially an ex who betrayed her. I think that those are the words that I was trying to find this whole video. You know, I'm hoping that she's able to give herself that closure in a situation like this.
So just know that if you're struggling with wondering if your ex is thinking about you and missing you, they very likely are. Okay? All right. Hopefully this one's been helpful to you. And of course, if you want to get our help personally, You could do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Zoom calls. Coach Victoria is also available for Zoom calls.
I'm here whenever you'd like to chat.
And if you'd like to submit a video to the channel, just send it to the CK Show and the form there, the submission on a video that you want us to react to, and we might be able to cover it in a future video. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.